It's time for Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Now let's have some fun. Here is your host, Johnny Radio.
Yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. Brian Dacus is hanging out with me for a little bit, and I feel good, man. It's a hump day, halfway through the week. Supposedly the water's safe to drink. I have taken a shower today, so we have made some progress. And I also have to say one thing about college basketball. It was the Easy Money Monday. But it was a Take Back Tuesday. Lots of games went south, the ones especially that I played and gave on the air yesterday, so hopefully you didn't follow me. We're going to talk a little college hoops here in a few minutes, and I'm going to talk with my good buddy Brian Dacus. We're also breaking down all the divisional games today at 12 o'clock. Russell Copeland's going to join us. We're going to talk about all that we saw and what we learned. What we think about the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen and their future. What do we think about this young Packers team? Talk about two teams on the opposite end of the spectrum. You got, Josh Allen and a team that's going to be losing a lot, that needs some wide receivers. Is Diggs still that number one guy? We're going to ask Cope because he played wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. He played in a Super Bowl, something that Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs have not done yet. Only one AFC championship game in this nice little run, and of course we know that was another loss to Patrick Mahomes. Unfortunately, 3-0 in the regular season, 0-4 in the postseason against Mahomes and friends. We're going to talk some NFL football. We're then on Friday, by the way. He'll return at 12 o'clock on Friday, because then we're going to break down the championship round. And we're going to break down this AFC and NFC championship game. Can the Detroit Lions do a little bit with the 49ers? Got a taste of from Aaron Jones last week. Have you noticed this 49ers team, which plays basically in its base defense throughout? They're bringing 4 down linemen. They got their 3 great linebackers, 2 safeties. They're doing their business. But I'll tell you one thing, if you run right at him, as you saw Aaron Jones go last week, like right at him, don't go sideline to sideline. Greenlaw and Fred Warner will beat the brakes off you. But you neutralize that pass rush, and you get Bosa and Chase Young, who can't pin their ears back and come up field, you can get them with the run game. And you know who runs the ball pretty well?
Who's that?
That would be the Detroit Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs has got just that extra gear. Montgomery is a dude who will run you over. Can also block. But the thing that the Detroit Lions do better than anybody in the National Football League is also run the ball and then throw off a play action. And that secondary, especially Thomas, who is right now playing the worst cornerback left in football. If you don't know who I'm talking about, just go watch that 49ers Green Bay game from last week. He just gets picked on constantly. So we're going to talk a little bit of football, but I will say one thing: this game is getting interesting to me. I'm really starting to lean. I told you this yesterday that I like the Lions +7.
Sure did.
Damn it! The more I looked at it this morning, the more I like the Lions +7. Again, Brock Purdy. I mean, the numbers that he has put up this year. I mean, he's first in completion percentage, first in yards per attempt, first and third down conversion. I mean, my man is just basically a stat machine. He had a hell of a season. He is a hell of a quarterback. But I'm also wondering, is he really that much different than Jimmy G? Jimmy G had great pieces around him, and San Francisco couldn't do it. Do you need that quarterback that can be special to get you over the top? You can say, Brad Johnson. Brad Johnson. Remember Tampa Bay? Yeah, and that was one of the most elite defenses I've ever seen. San Francisco's defense is good. I don't think it's elite like Tampa Bay, when you had Sapp and Lynch and Brooks just mauling folks. So, and you had which Barber was playing Tiki? No, Rondé Barber, and also Rondé Barber at cornerback. Like, damn, that team was just filthy. And again, I just think that there's Ambry Thomas, who's going to be that third cornerback. You got Ward and Lenore. Lenore's a little banged up. But, man, Ambry Thomas is going to get picked on. And Jared Goff has got weapons out the frame. Jamison Williams is a absolute speed burner. And when you think of the Detroit Lions, who's the first guy that you think of catching passes? Amon-Ra St. Brown. Bro, Jamison Williams is right there. Josh Reynolds, when he catches the ball, has got elite speed as well. I love their wide receivers. I love their running backs. And Sam Laporta is a tight end. And yes, I know he's playing with that big knee brace, but he's still been effective as all get out. I'm a little bit worried, though, honestly, about this deadgum offensive line. How beat up are they? Frank Ragnow left that game. I mean, he came back in and played. He was hurting. He was hurting. Jonah Jackson got knocked out of that bad boy. So this great offensive line, that's something I'm going to have to keep an eye on going against this very good defense. But right now, I'm just got a little bit of lean. And then I'll tell you, I ain't going to lie to you. Over in the AFC, thank God I got Russell Copeland. Because I look at this game, and I go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I got burnt last week betting against Kansas City. Mahomie just does it. He just gets things done. And all games seem to be close with Mahomie. I mean, you're getting 3.5 points. I could see this being a field goal game either way. Isaiah Pacheco's running hard. Travis Kelce actually got his game back going. I mean, last week in the playoffs, he looked like the old Travis Kelce. He didn't look like the one who's been hanging out with T. Swizzle and hadn't scored a touchdown in the last, 7 weeks? Mm-hmm. Something ridiculous like that. That's not like Travis Kelce's game. He went out there and dominated. You got Rice. Rashee Rice has turned into that weapon that Pat Mahomes trusts. The Ravens, on the other hand, though, they just look like that football team that their defense is just stout. Their offense has got weapons. And they got, Lamar Jackson back there, the equalizer. This is just a fascinating quarterback matchup. Mahomie, Lamar. I'm excited. Plus, you have the Chiefs defense that might be, which is hilarious. You know how great Spags is. And he designed some defenses. And that secondary for Kansas City is dope. And Chris Jones for the defensive front is great. But you know what Kansas City's terrible at doing?
What's that?
Stopping the damn run.
Sure is.
They are terrible. When you look at the metrics, you're like, damn, I can't believe everybody just didn't run right down their throat. We saw James Cook in the third quarter and Josh Allen keep the ball for 7 straight minutes, had a huge, 15-play drive or something, and just methodically run right down the throat and score the touchdown. And I thought from that point the Buffalo Bills were about to dominate. But nope, Kansas City Spags figured something out. They started stopping the run. Their cornerbacks came up just Gucci. And we know the rest is history. Kansas City got things going. But, man, I'm stoked about the little football games. We're going to talk about them today. Copeland, we're going to talk about it at 12 o'clock. Again, we're breaking down all the mad stuff with the divisional round and all the stuff that they're talking about, right now currently in the National Football League. We got some Hall of Famers.
Sure do.
Adrian Beltre, Todd Helton, Joe Mauer, and Jim Leland. What do you think about the Hall of Fame?
I like it. I'm a fan.
You're a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm struggling with this because, the Hall of Fame used to be the most elite club of the elite clubs. And I know a lot of this has to do with the steroid era, but it doesn't feel to me the same. It just doesn't. It's not. It's the hall of extremely good, not absolutely the elite of the elite. Adrian Beltre, I mean, he's a good baseball player. He played, 21 seasons. Had 4 Gold Gloves, 3 Silver Sluggers. I'm not going to argue 3,000 hits, almost 500 home runs. I'm not going to. Adrian Beltre, cool, you in.
Okay, good.
But then Joe Mauer and Todd Helton. And I love Todd Helton. You know who Todd Helton played quarterback for?
Tennessee.
That's right, Tennessee Vols. You know who ended up taking that joint?
Peyton Manning.
That's right. It's a good thing he chose baseball. And he's only the Rockies, I believe, second player ever to make it to the Hall. And again, I'm so happy for these guys. I know these guys are extremely happy to make it, but what's the difference between Joe Mauer and Thurman Munson? What's the difference between Todd Helton and Don Mattingly? I think those men are more deserving than both of these guys, but they were in an era when we didn't put in really good. And now, because of the steroid era and us blackballing all the guys who compiled all the numbers and Barry Bonds, who are great, we've turned the Hall of Fame into the Hall of really good. And I blame this on the Baseball Writers Association. Bunch of prickly a-holes who I just don't think they get it. Like right now, yeah, we have legislated steroids out of the game. But for a while, do you really think they didn't know about steroids? Do you think that one day they just woke up and said, all these guys are hitting all these like 600-foot home runs? Major League Baseball was complicit in it. They turned a blind eye. I mean, come on now. And again, everybody was doing it. Just like everybody was doing speed back in the day. Like, man, back in the, 50s and 60s, people were going in there eating greenies, eating Reds, getting all yiked. I guess now it's Adderall. I mean, I don't know. And that's just me just jumping on my little horse.
Right.
And my rant. Because, again, like all the guys that I love, they're not in the Hall of Fame, but all their B-League, and plus some of them are still tainted with steroids, but all the kind of like very average players are not getting, they're getting in. I don't know. I guess it just makes me a little crazy. Jim Leland, of course, was coach. I'm not complaining about that, but I mean Donnie Baseball. But Joe Mauer and Todd Helton. What did Joe Mauer ever win in Minnesota?
I mean, he was a great player.
He was a great player. He did have, but dude didn't hit for power. Had weak power. He was a very good contact hitter. I know he didn't pop the ball up. Like they showed a stat that he only had like infield pop-up outs. It was like 101 in his career. That's freaking impressive.
That is impressive.
The dude did put good wood on the ball.
I mean, career 306.
No. I'm not saying again, but again,
crazy.
That is very good. But how great was he behind the plate?
Well, I mean, you say that. I mean, last year I remember we were arguing about Scott Rowland shouldn't have been in the Hall of Fame because and nobody was talking about his defense. I mean, everyone would just want to talk about his at-bat numbers.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying. I'm just to say again, Thurman Munson is a champion, world champion, and he was great. And again, he was great, but because there were bigger stars even on that those Yankees team, like he did not get in the Hall. But we're going to throw Joe Mauer again, who is a good, very, very good catcher, very good catcher. But would they ever win in Minnesota?
Well, I mean, that's by that matter, there'd be a ton of great players that aren't in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I hear what you're saying. My man had 143 damn home runs. Okay, he was a great slap hitter.
And that doesn't deserve a spot in the Hall of Fame?
I mean, if he had
John called the Hall of Home Runs.
If he had if he had 3,000 hits, my man only has 2,000 hits. He has 143 home runs. Yes, he batted 306, but it ain't like the man played 20 seasons in baseball. I don't know. I mean, again, didn't have 1,000 RBIs. It's not like he was stealing any bases. I mean, I'm very happy for him. I am very, very happy for him. But I'm like, in 15 years, hitting 300, I don't know. I guess I'm just a little whiny baby. And I'm gonna stop whining because I don't want other people to be annoyed by me. I want y'all to have a wonderful.
No, I mean, I think it's a good point, John.
I don't know, man. You know what? I would love to hear what Brett Norsworthy thinks about this. My man knows baseball inside and out. It's his favorite game in the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
And when I talk about somebody whose memory can remember everything, he could sit here, and so I would be listening to. I would listen 3 to 6.
Well, we
today.
talked about it a lot yesterday. I doubt we talked much about it yesterday. We had a whole hour after it came out yesterday to talk about it. But see, my problem. I mean, I love. I'd probably say baseball is my favorite sport, but I was not alive when Thurman Munson was playing, so I don't have Joe Mauer in my mind is a much better player because. My whole childhood was watching Joe Mauer play baseball, so I'm not the right person to have an argument with it. So you're right. Brett would be the person because like you said, his history, his mind is incredible, and he's seen all these players play. So, I'll ask him today.
I'll be tuned in today because I want to.
I'll make sure I ask him.
I want to know. You text me if y'all are starting to rap to make sure I know this.
I will.
I do really want to know what he thinks. I mean, Munson's not far behind in hits. He's right there at home runs. I mean, he was, I don't know, man. What 7-time All-Star was
Who are we talking about?
Thurman Munson.
Oh yes, 7-time.
I mean, he was the MVP also in 1976.
How about this, John? Thurman Munson, Joe Mauer, same amount of Gold Gloves.
Damn, like I don't know, man. And again, Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly.
Yeah, I can't argue that. I love
like
Don
it just
Mattingly.
drives me like Don Mattingly.
I do love Donnie M.
Yeah, and who knows? It's an interesting discussion. I will be listening today from 3 to 6 because for real, I want to hear Norsworthy's take on this one. But now, I got to get into some college basketball real quick with you, bro.
Okay.
Because I know you're a big college basketball guy.
That's me.
Now, I lost my mind the 2 losses with the Tigers, right? Completely came unhinged.
Yeah, John, I was here.
I do feel a lot better because now I'm actually watching other teams. Especially, I've been watching a lot of Big 12 basketball. It seems like the last 2 nights.
Big 12 guy.
No. I mean, just those are the games that you're betting on. I had to watch Texas and Oklahoma, of course. I watched Kansas and Cincinnati.
Texas, yeah.
Dude, Texas looked great. Oklahoma looked like trash.
Welcome to the Big 12.
Like, again, that's what I'm saying. And Baylor, I don't know, they're hit or miss.
Oh, I really
like
Baylor.
Houston looks damn good. Like, that Big 12 is a freaking beast. But every single team I look at, I see flaws. Like, big glaring ones. Like, Kansas has no bench.
That's right.
Like, they run in 6 dudes. 6 dudes. And that's it.
That's right.
You got, there's that Texas team. When that little homie last night was shooting, you can't beat them. With their little guard.
Max Ace Smith, yeah.
Dude, that man's got
from North Texas.
That man's shot is ridiculous.
No, from Oral Roberts, but now his coach went to North Texas. North Texas coach went. It's a cycle coaching.
I got you, but I will just say, like, that Texas team is long. They're athletic. Oklahoma, who was ranked 11th, looked like they didn't belong on the court with them last night.
Texas is a good team. I know, we got all fired up about them when they lost to UCF, but
I just didn't like their coach.
Right. But everyone
Rodney
sees
Terry.
Everyone sees that and sees them losing to UCF and goes, "Oh, Texas is a bad team this year."
Even when was it Monday
12.
when we were looking at bracketology, or was that yesterday? Texas was on the
yesterday.
first 4 out.
Yeah.
Well, get a big win yesterday on the road at Oklahoma, and they're right back in.
John, the Big 12 could have 10 teams, maybe even 11 teams get into the tournament this year.
What is that kid's name? Max what?
Asmus. But it's spelled like ABSMAS.
Yeah, something spelled different.
But the B's like kind of silent. It's Max
my
Asmus.
Man ain't very big.
No, he's not.
But he has got a pure stroke.
It's ABMAS.
Man, that kid's got a good stroke. And then Texas is also huge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were destroying. Like, I just felt bad for Oklahoma down in the paint. They couldn't, get anything.
I like this Texas team a lot, and I didn't watch much of that game last night. I was more.
They out-rebounded them 40-24.
Yeah, no, Texas is good. Texas is good. The Big 12's tough. These are you're going to have teams lose. We talked about Houston yesterday. They dropped a couple, and now right back to work. So in a conference that good, when you're talking, I'm looking at Joe Lunardi. Joe Lunardi right now in his latest bracketology, and we talked about it. He had Texas out. Let's see. If
they're probably back in.
Yeah, he has them. I'm sure they would be in now. He hadn't updated it again, but he has 2 Big 12 teams on the bubble, and now Texas in the next 4 out category. So, I mean, you're talking 10, 11 teams that really have a chance of being in the NCAA tournament from one conference. That's incredible.
That is incredible. But then also last night you watched Kentucky, and I was expecting Kentucky to go and drop kick South Carolina. I was totally wrong.
Yeah, we got a little ahead of ourselves.
South Carolina pulled out the bully stick.
Sure did.
From the jump, by the way. Like, Kentucky was never competitive in that game.
Yeah.
It was weird. Like, I thought there was a point in that game. I'm like, they're gonna put it in another gear. Like, they're going to put it in. No, they didn't. South Carolina just choked them out.
Yeah, early in the game, it was kind of what we've seen really a lot of times in these Tigers games. Like, I hate to compare it to what the Tigers have done.
Kind of why I'm doing it.
But we've seen it where, like, it's back and forth. Like, Kentucky would go up by 2, and then South Carolina would go down, knock down a 3. Kentucky would come down the other court, have like a wide open shot. They missed so many. I mean, the shots just were not falling for Kentucky last night, and they just miss a shot. South Carolina would go down, knock down a shot. Kentucky would come back, tie it up, or make it a 1-point game. It was like that for a while in the first half, and then second half, I mean, South Carolina ran away.
Yeah, they definitely ran away with it. But I will say, like, watching now other teams across the country, and again, I'm not like excusing the Tigers' 2 pitiful performances. I mean, that was just, I mean, you finally put things together at Wichita State against the Shockers, and then bing, bang, boom, you come home and have a terrible loss to South Florida. Like, that was just terrible. And then go on the road to Tulane, have 1 field goal in the final 5 minutes. There are things that are frustrating. But, hey, Penny's going to refocus the team. He says he's been soft on them. They're going to get after it. But, again, they have the potential to be a very good Tiger team. They also have the potential to completely let the wheels fall off if they don't put things together. So, watching the other teams around the country is making me feel a little bit better. There's still a couple of teams I'm really scared of, and there's one that's playing tonight, and that's Auburn. They are on the road against Alabama. I feel like they're trying to give away money. Like, I don't understand why Alabama's favored. Auburn looks like the deepest, most amazing team, and I know Alabama's playing at home, but I don't know if I know Alabama's 4-1 in the SEC, but, dude, this Auburn team looks like a different animal.
Let's not forget, John, they've won, like, their last, 11 games by double digits?
Yeah, they're just smoking people. But I'll tell you one thing, when things look too good to be true, most of the time they really are.
John, I'll say this, and it's something to keep an eye on because I heard somebody say it this morning. It was Matt Norlander from CBS Sports that I heard say it, and they were talking about the DePaul opening that went open yesterday. 2 days ago, DePaul fired their head coach. And so now they're the first program with a vacancy at head coach. Obviously, a power conference team that will be, a very it's a terrible job, but for a mid-major coach to make that jump to Power 5, it could be intriguing. And one name that Matt Norlander put out for that job was Amir Abdul-Rahim at USF, and we talked about him last week. What he did at Kennesaw State, getting them his first year, they won 1 game. His 4th year, they made the NCAA tournament. We just saw what this team did this year, beating the Tigers, and they've won 8 of their last 9 games. They played tonight. Name to keep an eye on for that DePaul job. Not that anybody in our market cares about DePaul basketball, but I just wanted to point that out there. That the coach that beat Memphis is a name that real people in the college basketball world are saying Power 5 schools should go after this guy. So, he's a good coach.
That is also, again, something that's kind of makes you feel a little bit better about Memphis then. Sure, kind of.
Yeah, why not?
We are going to take a little bit of a break. We got to talk with Dustin Starr. There's been some crazy stuff happening in the wrestling world. Again, don't forget today at 12 o'clock, Russell Copeland, we're breaking down the divisional round in the National Football League, all the stuff we saw last Saturday and Sunday. Today at 12:30, I got some great Hardwood. You won't believe this. I got a California bill trying to ban football for kids under 12.
Ooh.
Britney Spears, I'm going to tell you why she got banned from a pool in L.A.
I saw that story.
And then Tyreek Hill and his wife of 3 months. Well, I'll give you an update on their relationship status. It's probably not all that great. Do me a favor, don't touch the dial. We're back in 2 shakes with Dustin Starr right here on Sports 56 98.5 FM.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I will not buckle to peer pressure and call Bell Tavern a sports bar. Bell Tavern, tucked away in Barbaro Alley behind 117 Prime, is a great bar. It's got the atmosphere you want in a bar. Not too bright, not too dark, not too quiet, not too loud, and it's got the ice-cold beer and the signature cocktails and access to the kitchen at 117 Prime. So Bell Tavern is first and foremost a bar, just because it happens to be the time of year when professional football happens to be having their playoffs, and yes, they'll be on the high-def TVs at Bell Tavern, but once again, Bell Tavern is not a sports bar entirely.
It's a new year, and Family Leisure has a new way to bring family and fun together. All you have to do is walk into Family Leisure and look around. All those floor model patio sets you see, those have got to go. So Family Leisure can make room for all the new sets coming. Get a wicker sofa set for under $2,000. Pool tables under $1,500. Theater seating for under $2,000. Hot tubs for $4,000 or just for yourself. If you really want to lounge, they're under $5,000. Need patio cushions? Get them as low as $25. Oh, have you seen those infrared steam saunas? Well, now they and the traditional saunas are 25% off. It may just be the first few weeks of 2024, but that doesn't mean you can't start getting ready for summer. Two final things. Purchase your above-ground pool now and get first in line for installation, and take advantage of special financing that's available. Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, bringing the family and the fun back together.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. 5-Ash Roofing, the name to know. 5-Ash Roofing, the only way to go. 5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. 5-Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5-Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5-Ash Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
At Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike, new inventory is arriving daily, and we've got what you've been looking for to start the new year off right. Get off to a great year in your award-winning 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander, $329 a month, or buy it for $29,910. Take a spin in your new 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, $29,445, or lease for $449 a month. How about 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, $420 total range MPGE? You own it for $649 a month. Plus, no worries with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. You want it? We Gossett at Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or online anytime, memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
PHEV PZ062,303 MSRP 44,355 Sport RU 001136 MSRP 28,000 Eclipse RZO 12051 MSRP 31,700 includes all rebates and incentives PF 695 excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
You've heard of James Gaddis Jewelers, but have you heard what they've done lately? Everything! A tremendous selection of diamonds and jewels, gold, silver, and much more. Lots of watches, tons of custom-made jewelry, fine gemstones, bracelets, necklaces, so many choices. Romantics will love the one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. James Gaddis has experts to help you with wedding and engagement rings, plus 2 repair experts for fine watches and jewelry. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Bryant Dacus. It is Wednesday, man. You made it halfway through the week. Water's better. You can shower. You're supposedly able to drink out of it yet. I haven't taken a sip yet. I'm still scared. And I'm still using bottled water to brush my teeth, but I've been running my faucets. Good luck with the water out there, people. Now, this is very important because today, 12 o'clock, Russell Copeland, we're talking all things NFL. 12:30, I got Hardwood because it feels so good, but it's 11:30 on a Wednesday. You know that means we're talking with Dustin Starr. Let's go ahead and bring my good buddy Dustin Starr in. What up, Starr? How's life?
Yo, what's happening, Johnny Radio? You heard any good rumors or any good news here lately?
Yeah, I did. I heard some crazy stuff, to be honest with you, and I almost fell over.
Man.
I've almost fell over. So there's some dude named Raw and another guy named SmackDown, and somehow they got $5 billion from Netflix to do what now?
Oh my gosh, Johnny, this is like crazy. It's unprecedented. It's wrestling, man. Look at what we're doing here with wrestling, or what WWE is doing. So check this out. Are you sitting down, Johnny?
I need you to also, though, you have to help explain this whole thing, because I didn't know that the WWE and SmackDown and Raw were all the same thing, and I don't understand.
Oh my gosh,
they're
you're
different
a rookie.
leagues. I am you got to talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old kid.
Well, so look, you've got WWE Raw, which they tout as the longest-running weekly episodic television program ever. I don't know that it really is, but that's what they say. It was on USA Network. Then you've got SmackDown, which was on Fox and is on Fox now. And then you've got NXT that's also on USA Network. So NXT is like another brand of WWE, to where that's where they develop talent before they go to Raw or SmackDown.
So how do you know which one you go to? Is there a draft for Raw or SmackDown?
Yeah, actually there is. That's kind of funny that you mentioned that. It kind of did, especially when they moved to Fox, because it was more of a sports station, NFL and all that kind of stuff. So they almost did it kind of like what the NFL does. You have a general manager or commissioner come up and they make draft choices. And so they mix up the rosters each year by doing that. Well, all the television deals were coming up. And so it was just announced yesterday that WWE Raw is going to be moving to Netflix in 2025. Also, SmackDown is moving to USA, and then NXT is moving to the CW network nationwide. So that is a total of over $800 million per year just in TV rights from 2025 onward. $800 million the WWE just got for their television rights and television programming. It's unbelievable. And then also, I know you heard the news about The Rock. So The Rock is highly involved in this situation. So basically, just to, I guess wrestling for dummies is that WWE got new television deals, and one of them is their biggest, strongest program moving to Netflix, which is a streaming service. There's a lot of wrestling fans that are like, oh my gosh, this is great. And some of them are like, oh no, Netflix. So I guess it all depends on how you feel about it. But I know that I was a huge fan of Stranger Things, huge television show that was only on Netflix. It's just ultra popular. I think this is going to be an awesome thing for WWE moving forward. But also, it's going to be really good for their competition, AEW, because now they don't have to worry about Monday Night Raw and those ratings. So maybe they can get some of that television revenue. So it's good. I think it's good for everybody.
Man, this is not just good this is good for every sport entity out there. I mean, I hate to say this, but think about what the National Football League, if they ever decided to jump ship. I mean, they can jump ship. They can sit there and say, hey, well, if they're offering $5 billion for Raw,
yep,
how much are they going to offer for us? And then they get a bigger, TV deal from CBS, NBC.
Truth be told, Johnny, WWE probably learned a little bit about this from the NFL, because the NFL had the exclusive games on Amazon Prime. They had the NFL
Peacock
Network that not everybody got, Peacock. So they've been putting games in places to where you have to spend more money, more of your disposable income to even watch. And so WWE from afar is probably looking at this going, all right, especially with the new ownership group with TKO. They own UFC, they own WWE, and so WWE is looking at it more like a sport than wrestling, So by putting Raw on Netflix, $5 billion. That's with a B, Johnny. It's unbelievable. But then it's also good that WWE is staying on television as well, with USA Network and SmackDown and then of course nationwide with NXT on the CW.
Is
now
that
where the
for
Rock
like the
fits
old
in,
people, by the way? Is is that for old people who don't know how to work all the streaming services?
them being on television?
Yeah.
Potentially. So, for instance, my good friend King Cobra, he's not well-versed in streaming and all this kind of stuff. So what he would do is he'd probably watch USA and watch SmackDown. And then on the advertisements on USA SmackDown, they would be saying, hey, download the Netflix app so you can watch Raw. So they'll be heavily marketing that to people that may or may not be familiar with Netflix or how it works. And I know that sounds crazy, but there are still a lot of people out there that do not use streaming services.
Trust me, when the whole Peacock thing happened with the playoff game, the wild card, super duper wild card weekend, my dad was on the phone with me going, how the hell do I get Peacock?
Yes. Cobra's called me. He's a diehard Memphis Tigers basketball fan, and there are many times where he's called me, hey, how do I watch this ESPN2 or ESPN Plus or whatever? And so I just walk him through it, and he gets it done. But, you know, for instance, guys like your dad or guys like Cobra or whoever, anybody listening, they're gonna tell you how to do that on these programs. And I just think it's incredible. A dumb person once told me anybody could be on a streaming service. Well, not everybody gets $5 billion for it.
No kidding.
Dustin, I have a couple questions about this whole Netflix and Raw deal. I'm curious, we've seen on Netflix, and you've mentioned the last couple times you've joined us about this series on Netflix called Wrestlers, where it's the independent group up in, I believe, Ohio, and it's kind of like the behind-the-scenes look at everything that goes into it. We've also seen Netflix do those similar series. I know they have one with the PGA Tour, with tennis players, with F1 drivers. Do you think that this deal with Netflix could open up the door for us to get some sort of series of like a behind the scenes where we see more in depth of kind of what goes into these WWE events?
Absolutely. Yes, 1,000,000%. So this is one of the things that they've mentioned, not only the premier live events, which used to be their pay-per-views. So those will move to Netflix, Raw moves to Netflix, and then also a lot of the docuseries and documentaries that they come up with. Like if you go on Peacock now to the WWE Network, you can watch a show called WWE 24, which is like 24 hours of WrestleMania. So like what happens when you wake up, and then they follow the talent from the time they wake up, and then, you know, going to the arena and discussing what's going to happen that day, and just like the whole thing about what that day looks like for that individual. So yeah, a lot of that stuff will be probably moved over to Netflix, but then I imagine that they'll just create some new stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also, the rumor has it that WWE is going to become a little bit more realistic with their storytelling and with some of their in-ring action. You know, being affiliated with UFC and, you know, just becoming more kind of a sport. They're trying to look at it more like a sport. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if there were some sort of rankings and just different things like that. But there's a lot of rumors that are coming around. And Nick Khan with WWE recently was on the Pat McAfee show and answered all the questions point blank. And, man, this guy just speaks so well about it. And one thing that we haven't brought up is The Rock. The Rock is highly involved in all of this, and it seems like that every single thing that The Rock does everything he touches turns to gold, man. So he is absolutely on fire right now.
He joins what is the TKO group exactly?
The TKO group owns UFC and WWE.
And he's joined their board.
Yes. Now The Rock is on the board. He's on the board of directors, along with Triple H and, you know, of course, several of others. There's a big picture and all sorts of stories. The Rock made the rounds and doing all the interviews and stuff yesterday. But part of this deal with the TKO group for him to join the board, and this is huge, man, is now The Rock owns his own nickname. So
what do you mean? He didn't have like The Rock was he didn't have the trademark to The Rock?
No, that's something that WWE owns. So when they create a character for you, it's very important for them to own it, because that's a brand like Hulkamania. You know what I mean? Stone Cold Steve Austin. All those guys, they own the rights to, like, I would guess 99% of those names, and The Rock was one of them. And if you think back, The Rock went a long time without being in WWE. And this is just me spitballing. I'm thinking, you know, if this company owns my nickname and they make money off every time I use it and I have to have permission to use it, I might just go be a Hollywood star and not come back for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So now it seems like The Rock is in a position where they invited him to the board and he was able to negotiate to get his own name. So now that means he can make all the money he wants off of the name The Rock, which he wasn't able to do previously because WWE owned it.
Damn. This stuff is,
how cool is that?
This stuff
That's
is just
awesome.
pretty wild, to be honest with you.
So an individual, if you put into perspective, an individual person became so popular, so successful, like that this other major company, a multi-billion-dollar company, WWE, wants to bring him on board, and they were willing to offer him his nickname, like to give that back to him, which I think is very, very cool. Big success story for The Rock. And he talked about how that name came from his family and all that stuff, and just the importance of owning it, not just for monetary value, but then also just, he feels like now he owns that part of his family, which is kind of cool.
Plus, The Rock's also got the, USF, the UFL and the XFL. They merged to make the USFL.
No, UFL. It was the USFL and the U.
Oh, no, now it's just the UFL.
There you go. Bingo.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. UFL. I think I just actually...
You did. You had it backwards.
I did it completely backwards. Well, that's why I don't do things from memory.
Well, this is really big. I mean, even if you're not a wrestling fan and you say, that's phony stuff or whatever, you got to be able to look at it and say, wow, what a job WWE and those guys did to be able to pull off those deals, make those announcements all in the same day, and then get The Rock. And then we're on the road to WrestleMania.
I was about to say, from the first
40.
WrestleMania to where it is now, you never could have seen it growing this much.
Well, Vince, when he bought the WWF from his father, he basically mortgaged everything on WrestleMania 1. So if the people did not show up and sell out WrestleMania 1, then none of this would have been happening. So if you were to sit down with Vince and say, did you ever imagine this would happen? He would probably say yes. I remember in 2010, when I was in WWE developmental, there was a lot of talk of Vince saying that the internet is the future. And, in 2010, the internet was big already, like Twitter and all that kind of stuff was rocking and rolling. But then you fast forward now to 2024, and there's a $5 billion streaming deal for WWE. So I think Vince sees a lot of this stuff ahead of us. And, maybe he wouldn't have known exactly, but I think that his confidence level was pretty high that something huge was going to happen at some point. And, they've hit milestones along the way as well. They've done a lot of stuff that you never thought that wrestling would do. I mean, just WrestleMania, for example, when they go into a city, they literally take over the whole city for the week. Very, very similar to the Super Bowl. I mean, it's really that big now.
Man, it's nuts. And it's also worldwide.
Now, yeah, and the way that it helps, folks like me, like Memphis Wrestling and our talent and talent all over the world that aspire to be in the WWE, there's a lot more money floating around out there in the world of pro wrestling now. So that means any of our talent that get signed, they'll probably get signed making a little more money than what they were before. So I say this is good for everybody, like even the talent that's on the other side, like on AEW. Whenever they decide to go to WWE or if they get offered, they'll probably make significantly more money because these deals are so much larger than they've ever been before. And then also the TKO group, they have a higher percentage of payouts on profit. And that's something that's not talked about a lot, but apparently the TKO company has a higher percentage that they pay out to the performers than what WWE had previously. So, I mean, this is really good. The more money that WWE has in these deals, the more money that the talent can make, the families and all that kind of stuff. So I just think it's a really positive thing. And anytime wrestling is really big in the news in a positive way, it always trickles down, especially here in Memphis because the fans are such diehard fans.
Well, this is, I hate to do this to you, but I'm going to have to hold you over for a break because I got to come back and talk about where you're going to be tomorrow night because isn't that tomorrow night Lafayette's Music Room?
Yeah, man. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, you got some really sick stuff. We got to talk about Memphis wrestling. We're going to do that on the other side. We're going to take a quick time out. We'll be back with Dustin Starr right here on Sports 56 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous, serving the official barbecue of the Memphis Grizzlies.
Let's make this the new year to drive your new Kia home from Gossett Kia on the Pike. Bobby J's waiting to put you in a new Kia today. So come hit the road with 41 MPG Highway and 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Or get 7-passenger seating in a 2023 Kia Sorento LX. We Gossett at $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And if you want your new ride to be a 2024 Kia Telluride LX, we Gossett at $449 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease plus Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So get to Gossett Kia today, 1900 Covington Pike. Online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee. Forte RE722-812, MSRP 21,590. Sorrento PG 242-710, MSRP 33,010. Telluride RG 462822, MSRP 38,705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/31/2024 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Hey y'all, it's the Mid-South Sports and Boat Show, January 26th through the 28th at the Agri Center. Come buy your new boat and make some memories at the lake this summer with family and friends. Premier dealers showcasing the newest ski boats, pontoons, fishing boats with huge show specials. Enter your chance to win daily door prizes. It's all at the Mid-South Sports and Boat Show, January 26th through the 28th. For more info, go to memphisboatshow.com. That's memphisboatshow.com.
At the Agri Center.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
Gas, groceries, utilities, you name it, the price of everything is going up, and if you're stuck in a bad timeshare with rising maintenance fees, the financial burden can be crushing. It is time to get your finances in order and get the real facts about that timeshare that you are stuck in and your options to get rid of it. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has been helping families out of horrible timeshares for over 10 years and has put together a complete timeshare exit information kit that he will send you absolutely free. To date, over 30,000 families have trusted Wesley Financial Group to help them out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares. Get the facts about how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation. Simply call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit and see how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. Once again, 800-462-3333.
Looking for your next car? Give Car Corner a try. Car Corner, located at 2653 Mount Moriah. They specialize in cars under $15,000. Bad credit? No problem at Car Corner. CarCornerMemphis.com. That's CarCornerMemphis.com. They even have cash cars under $7,000. That's Car Corner at 2653 Mount Moriah. CarCornerMemphis.com. Look for the building with the teal green roof.
The only power source capable of generating 1.21 gigawatts of electricity is a bolt of lightning.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Dustin Starr. Wrestling has just gone extremely big time, $5 billion Netflix to get a little bit of that Raw action. And I'll tell you one thing, wrestling's always been big in Memphis, and there's no bigger star currently in Memphis wrestling than Dustin Starr. Dustin, y'all are going to Lafayette's Music Room tomorrow night One of my favorite little places in Memphis to go catch a band. I love little Minglewood, love little Lafayette.
Yep.
Always a great place. I can't imagine how much fun it would be to see a wrestling event down at Lafayette's, hanging out on the balcony, looking down into the ring, eating good grub, drinking on a little drinky drink, some Tito's. Man.
Look, I'm not blowing smoke here. I was there yesterday eating the salmon wrap. It was delicious. I mean, those of you who like to go to nice, clean bars, I mean, this place is clean. It's nice. It's not a wrestling venue at all. It's a music hall. I mean,
parking's
they do
easy. Women are looking good.
Yeah, I mean, they do concerts all the time. I mean, multiple days a week. And so there's some pictures that we posted up on our Memphis Wrestling social media. So if you're interested in seeing what it looks like, it is really nice, like a balcony that you can stand up. I'm almost like, wish I wasn't hosting so I can stand up on the balcony and just watch. I mean, that's kind of a really cool bird's eye view up there. But, yeah, big night of action, 7 p.m. bell time. We've got a meet and greet at 5 p.m. AEW superstar Brian Cage is going to be there. This guy is absolutely massive. I mean, it's like a spectacle just seeing this guy. And then Cowboy James Storm, he'll be there. There's a big post party with him to where you can have some beers with James Storm while he's here in town and stuff.
Damn, that's cool.
That's going down tomorrow. You got to get your tickets, Johnny. You got to get them, man, because ringside are already sold out. We're going to have a really good crowd out there, man.
All right, and everybody's been snowed in. You haven't been doing much.
Yeah.
I know everybody wants to. They're just itching to get out there and hang out and have some fun. I can't imagine a better scene than Lafayette's Music Room, but we have wrestling Thursday night. That's tomorrow, people. How do they get the tickets? How do they get the tickets?
MemphisWrestling.tv. It's real easy. There's a banner right there. You click it, grab those tickets. Like I said, the ringside seats are sold out. There are tables, which is very, very convenient, so you won't just be sitting. It's not like a regular wrestling show where you're just sitting there. And you can get a standing ticket. Like I said, ringside are sold out, but also there's tables, so like you can eat and drink while you watch wrestling. It's going to be super cool, and it will be a little bit different than what we do at the Wrestle Center because you have to be 18 and older to get in there. So there might be a little bit of Memphis wrestling after dark, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's my kind of wrestling right there. Now,
right.
I also need to know something, man, because not only are you busy this Thursday, you got something going on Saturday and on Sunday.
Yes, so Sunday is one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. It's the Royal Rumble, and we're actually raising some money for St. Jude right now. So if you go to MemphisWrestling.tv, you'll see the banner. For a $15 donation, you get to pick the number that you think is going to win the Royal Rumble. So, for instance, Johnny, if you say, I know that the fifth person in the Royal Rumble is going to win, then you donate $15, you take the number 5. If you win, you're going to get a Hacksaw Jim Duggan prize pack. That's 2x4, a flag, and an 8x10 that's all signed. And then the money is donated to St. Jude. So we also have our free watch party on Saturday at Dave & Buster's, so you can come watch with us. I know there are people out there like, I don't want to watch wrestling with somebody. Man, it is cool. It's like the people are cheering like you're there. I mean, they're chanting at the TV, which is a lot of fun. And then, of course, on Sunday, we've got our live TV taping here. We've added WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long to the card.
Dude,
so
it
Teddy
looks
Long
like Taylor Swift is also is wrestling on Sunday.
Right. That's not Taylor Swift. That's Holly Hood, Haley J. She'll be here. She's from Netflix. And then James Ellsworth, former WWE superstar, he'll be here. We're doing our Cobra Cup. So we do a tournament each year. That's going to start coming up on Sunday. There are some tickets available, not many, MemphisWrestling.tv. So if you're looking at the Thursday show and you're like, man, I got to bring my kid, I can't get in Thursday, just bring him on Sunday. That's a really cool, family-friendly event.
Holly Hood, and who's she fighting?
There is no telling who she's fighting.
Oh, you can't release these secrets, huh?
We are going to crown a number 1 contender for the women's division. So I can let the cat out of the bag. I think we're going to have like a 5 or 6 person battle in the women's division to see who's going to be the number 1 contender and move on to our anniversary show next month. So it's going to be awesome.
Man,
it'll be really good.
That is awesome. Dustin, you're doing some amazing things. Lafayette's Thursday, raising money for St. Jude. Also going to do the Royal Rumble on Saturday. And then you're shooting your own taping on Sunday. Anything else you need to drop to the peeps?
Well, shout out to my Grizz Nation, baby. Grizz are back in town on Friday at FedEx Forum. I'll be there for that one, too. I can't wait.
Damn, you are busy, bro.
Hey,
you are so
don't
busy.
sleep on my Memphis Hustle, bro. Those guys that we're seeing on the court right now, G.G. Jackson. I've been seeing him all season long at the Memphis Hustle. So Hustle are Saturday as well. So you can come check out the Hustle on Saturday too at Lander Center.
Well, whenever you get some time off, hit me up and we'll go catch a beer. But I don't know if that's going to be in 2024.
Bro, I think Thursday in between matches, I'm going to be hosting. So in between matches, maybe we can have a beer in between.
All right, man. Dig that. Dig that. Hey, Star, you be blessed, man. Appreciate your time, man, and have fun tomorrow at Lafayette's.
Hey, man, sorry I was long-winded today.
No, thank you.
That's cool.
That was awesome. I'm proud of myself. I didn't even need Jay Morgan.
Oh, I see him at all the Grizz games, too, by the way. He was at the Wrestle Center last time. I forgot to shout that out, man. He had a good time.
That's my homie Jay, man, doing his thing, man, living his best life, man. Hey, Dustin, be blessed. I'll see you soon, brother.
Yes, sir. See you.
We're back in 2 shakes. Late for a break. Russell Copeland. You know we got to talk about the divisional round, what happened. Don't forget he's going to join us on Friday to talk about the championship round. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
The lunatic is in my head.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your buddy Johnny Radio. I'm here with Mark, the owner of Dyer's, out in Collierville's historic town square, where they've been cooking up them burgers since 1912, the old-fashioned way. Mark, what's going on in life? I see you got your 4 kids with you. What do they love about Dyer's?
Man, they love everything about Dyer's. They love all the great food that we serve, and they really like eating our good food and watching some of their favorite sports.
Braden, what do you like at Dyer's?
I like a bacon burger with fries, a milkshake, and with a Tigers game in the background.
Carter, who's your favorite football team?
The Carolina Panthers, and just with some macaroni with that sounds amazing.
My man Beckham, what's your favorite food over at Dyer's?
We like the double cheeseballs.
Kinley, what is your favorite dish over at Dyer's?
Daddy's cheeseburgers and the Dallas Cowboys game in the background.
Just remember, everybody, bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team out and eat at our place.
So head on over to Dyer's in Collierville's historic town square.
From brilliant to beautiful, we've heard lots of words used to describe the Sissy's Log Cabin experience, but we think one sums it up best: extraordinary. Here, you'll find an unparalleled selection, impeccable service, and an experience that makes you feel like family. Shop online at sissyslogcabin.com or stop by one of our 6 locations. Find your trusted jeweler for a lifetime, only at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
All 650 acquisition fee, Forte RE722-812, MSRP 21590, Sorrento PG 242-710, MSRP 33010, Telluride RG 462822, MSRP 38705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/31/2024 with approved credit dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, Happy New Year, dude. Hey, what's happening over there at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah?
Let's start the new year off right in your new Kia with 41 MPG Highway 2024 Kia Forte LXS $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Got a big family? Get a 2023 Kia Sorrento LX $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. Plus a 2024 Kia Telluride LX $449 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36 months lease.
And every Gossett Kia comes with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
And stop by and see the all-new EV9 all-electric SUV. So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMTMoriah.com.
We all appreciate luxury. We love the newest technology. We want something that sparkles and looks great. Well, I've got it all in one place. It's called Genesis of Olive Branch, right at the corner of Highway 78. That's Lamar. And the first exit in Mississippi, that's Craft Road. Turn left and you will see Genesis of Olive Branch. And right now, you can get the 2024 Genesis GV70 starting at $49,480 with special financing as low as 3.49% on select models. How about the 2024 Genesis GV80? A little bit bigger, starting at $55,995, financing as low as 5.49% with a $2,000 rebate when trading a luxury brand. Call them. They'll even bring you a Genesis at your work or your home for a test drive. They're convinced that when you drive a Genesis, you're going to want one. Call 662-890-6684. Ask for Vinny. Genesis of Olive Branch.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Brian Dacus, and I'm fired up because it is Hump Day. We've made it halfway through the week, and we are so blessed because we're going to be joined right now by Russell Copeland. Yeah, you know Russell Copeland. Played at the University of Memphis, was a baller, played in a Super Bowl, played for the Buffalo Bills, Packers, and also the Eagles. But let me tell you a little secret. We're going to be talking about his Buffalo Bills in just 1 second, but I did need to remind you of something very important. It's Wednesday, so you got a few days till Saturday, but Saturday at Neil's Music Room over there at 5727 Quince, they got Landslide coming in, and that's a Fleetwood Mac tribute band. Like, Fleetwood Mac don't play no games. The girl tears it up. It is a fun band. Check them out. Head on up there Saturday. I'm sure the music room is going to be bumping. Plus, if you want to head over there today, you know, right now they got plate lunches. They got all kinds of great bar grub. And no, Neil's never closed down during the little winter storm thing we had. I ate there like 4 days in a row. And I will tell you, the food is fabulous. But also make sure you head on over there on Saturday to check out Landslide. Again, a Fleetwood Mac cover band. What's up, Cope? How are you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing great, Johnny. I tell you, man, it was a great weekend of the divisional round in the playoffs. And you know, when you talk about the playoffs, Johnny, something that really stands out and sticks to me when you're looking at the playoffs, I think teams, first of all, they got to protect the football. They've got to run and stop the run. They have to finish strong in the fourth quarter. And special teams have to be special and flawless. And when you look at these four teams that have advanced to the AFC and the NFC championships, all of these teams were able to do those things, and they're one win away from Super Bowl 58 and that Lombardi trophy.
Man, it's just crazy to think that, you know, we've gone through the entire regular season. We've gone through now the divisional round. We're at the championship round. But all four teams, man, right now these games are so hard to pick. I want everybody to remember we're going to pick the championship rounds at 12 o'clock on Friday. But we're focused on the games that we just saw. And I got to start with your Buffalo Bills. I was watching that bad boy, and when they came out in that third quarter and established that huge long drive where they were running the ball right down Kansas City's throat, it looks like they were basically asserting their will of dominance. I mean, Josh Allen was running down their throat. Cook was running. I thought all of a sudden the Buffalo Bills were going to take over. How is it that the Kansas City Chiefs always seem to take a team's best punch, and then all of a sudden they dust themselves off, they get up, and Spags fixes the defense, and Pat Mahomes does what he does on the offense? I mean, how is this team able to do it? This is 6 straight AFC championship games for them.
I think when you look at the Chiefs overall, there are in-game situations. There's momentums in games. There are moments in games. And when you look at Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and this Kansas City Chiefs team, teams that win, teams that get to Super Bowls and win, they're able to take those in-game situations and those moments, and they're able to capitalize, and they do not make mistakes in those moments. And I think that's the difference in the football game when you look at the Buffalo Bills. I think Josh Allen, from a statistical standpoint, he had an outstanding game. But when you look at overall, with his surrounding cast, with his wide receivers, Stephon Diggs had critical drops. When you look at some other receivers, they had critical drops. Josh Allen did not make some throws that he needed to in order to beat the man. In order to beat the man, you have to make those throws. And there was a throw at the end of the game that he did not make. And those are the differences in games. Those are the moments, the big moments in the games that you have to make. In the Kansas City Chiefs, they make it time and time again.
And again, having Patrick Mahomes helps. But also, you know what helps Patrick Mahomes, I think, is leaning on somebody like Andy Reid, who no matter what seems to, like you said, dial up the right play. And Patrick goes out there and executes. And then Spags, I can't give him enough credit. This is a team that, you know, I thought Buffalo was going to just run down their throat. All of a sudden, they make some adjustments. Chris Jones does his thing. And then that secondary came up big on the back end. Just got to tip your cap to the Kansas City Chiefs. But switching over to Buffalo, painful. Like, Bills Mafia is probably one of the greatest fan bases, just period, ever. I mean, after my man Tyler Bass missed the field goal wide right, which no Buffalo fan wants to hear wide right. It just, rips their heart out. The fans went out there and supported him and raised over $50,000 to his charity to just, let him know that they still care about him. I mean, they come out when the snow's there. They snuggle. They get the field cleaned out. Like, they are an unbelievable fan base. But how is this fan base right now supposed to look at this team going forward? Is the window closing, or is there still some shuffling that they can do? Because, again, Stephon Diggs is getting a little bit older. Is he still that number one guy? Do you believe that, they replaced, Ken Dorsey with Joe Brady? Do they have their offensive coordinator? I mean, what do you see for the future of Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills?
Well, I think they always have a chance when you have Josh Allen at the quarterback position. Yes, we talked about the turnovers, him being able not to turn the football over. When you look at it in the playoffs, he's been playing superb. But, I'm a type of person that when you have the opportunity, you have to seize the moment. And once again, this Buffalo Bills football team had an opportunity to seize the moment. They're playing Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is playing on the road. And you talked about how the game went back and forth, but it came down to critical plays. And when you look at your kicker and you look at Tyler Bass, that's your job. The only job that you have to do is to kick the football. And when you look at special teams, you only have one time on special teams. Receivers can drop a pass maybe here and there. They may get other opportunities in the game. You have to be able to make that field goal. But I still have to talk about, now you have to look at the salary cap. The salary cap with the Buffalo Bills, they're above the salary cap. Now they're going to have to go out and get other players to fill those needs, but you don't have the money to pay them. So it's a critical time at Buffalo. I think this is another time that the Bills let one slip away from it. And I love Josh Allen. But like I say again, in order to be the man, you have to beat the man. And you look at that last drive, when you look at your left tackle, your best player on your offensive line going against their best player, Chris Jones. Chris Jones puts pressure on your left tackle. He makes that play. And Josh Allen does not step up in the pocket and be able to make the critical throw that he needed to Khalil Shakir.
And
Shakir in the end zone.
And he broke perfectly. It was going to be, it was there. He had the touchdown. He, just like you said, Chris Jones came up and made that big dead gum play. And you mentioned the salary cap, by the way, for the Buffalo Bills. And that's another thing that just, I know they can restructure Josh Allen's deal. This is what they do with quarterbacks. Next year, he's going to go to a $47 million cap hit. They're going to restructure his deal. But I'm worried about the Von Miller deal. You didn't get much out of Von Miller this year, and I know he's coming off an injury, but this is the second highest paid player on your football team when it comes to cap hit. You also had Ed Oliver, who just basically – I didn't see him in that game make – that defensive line that they spent so much money on just came up extremely small in the critical moments against the Chiefs.
And when you talk about that, that's something else. When you look at the Buffalo Bills, when they played against the Cincinnati Bengals, you talked about them being able to get a pass rush last year. They didn't get the pass rush last year or the year before in those playoffs. That's something that has to come up big. Offensive line for them, they didn't give up a sack. But when you flip that, Patrick Mahomes' offensive line didn't give up a sack at all, and you mentioned that defensive line. So that's going to be a lot of questions for them, how they restructure contracts and how much money would they be able to have to come back and put in the critical pieces. But the window, in my opinion, is always closing. Once you get to the doorstep and you don't get into the door, it's a different season each and every year.
Man, that's a great way to put it. That is a great way to put it. But, again, having Josh Allen, the man's an absolute he's a dead gun machine. That's all you got to say. Now, one other thing I wanted to say about this game, which this blew my mind. You know now that Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce have the most postseason touchdowns by a quarterback-receiver duo in history. Did you hear about that? They passed Montana and Rice. They passed Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski. They have 16, Brady and Gronk 15, and Joe Montana 15, and Jerry Rice was 12. Yes. Yeah, 12. That's just that to me is crazy because it's also a tight end. And, two tight ends are up there with Gronk and Kelce as catching the most damn tight ends. It seems like the tight end position, when you got one of those dead gum beasts, it just changes the way that defenses can defend you.
And also what it says to you is how the game has changed, how the game has progressed as far as passing, as far as throwing. And we know about the Shannon Sharps, we know about the Dwight Clarks, and we know about the other tight ends. But if you have a great tight end that can stretch the football field, and now it gives you added dimension now outside with your wide receivers, it just opens things up for a quarterback. But that is really a big stat. And that's why, you ask the question, that's why the Kansas City Chiefs have been able to do the things over and over and over, because you got a great tight end, Hall of Famer, and you got a great quarterback, Hall of Famer, and you got the fourth coach with all-time winning in Andy Reid. That's why.
Well, Kansas City Chiefs, they're heading on. They're going to be playing, of course, on the road against Baltimore, and that's where I'm going next, man. C.J. Stroud, who has been this young man has been the best rookie quarterback ever. He broke all the records. He broke the mold. He can make every throw. He's as calm inside the pocket as anybody I've ever seen. He doesn't get happy feet. He doesn't get rattled. The moment is never too big. But that Ravens defense was filthy. Just filthy. Seeing how the Texans whipped up on the Cleveland Browns, who were the number one rated defense, and then they struggled so much against the Ravens. In the postseason, have the Ravens defense, have they stepped it up a notch?
Well, I think they've been playing great the entire year. And this Ravens team, we talked about it last week, it's all about physicality. And you look at this team, it was 10-10 at the half. But what that defense was able to do in the second half, they shut down this Houston's offense, didn't allow any points. And in the fourth quarter, Lamar Jackson propelled his team. He showed everyone in the National Football League why he has sealed the envelope on his second MVP, scoring 17 points in the fourth quarter. You look at him having 252 total yards, 100 yards rushing, 152 yards passing. But that defense, being able to shut down, you talked about C.J. Stroud and that offense in the second half. That's why the Baltimore Ravens are playing in the championship game, and, man, I'm looking forward to that matchup. But they have an outstanding defense, and also when I talk about physicality, they're able to run the football, 229 yards rushing compared to 38 yards rushing for the Houston Texans.
Justice Hill, Gus Edwards, Dalvin Cook. These guys, they've gone through so many running backs this year. But, heck, Dalvin Cook had 8 carries. You had Edwards with 10. You had Hill with 13. You had Jackson with 11. Talk about keeping a fresh set of legs and a different dimension in the backfield. And then on the outside, they finally have the weapons. You got Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, Nelson Aguilar making catches, OBJ doing his thing. And now Mark Andrews might come back, but Isaiah Likely has turned into one hell of a weapon that a lot of people aren't talking about. And you mentioned the tight ends. Left in the playoffs, he's just as good as anybody.
Yeah, and we just talked about the tight ends, and that brings another dimension to him. But, you don't have a lot of players that can step up to replace players such as Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is a top 3 tight end in the National Football League, but what Isaiah Likely has done, he has stepped up, he's made a name for himself, and now if Mark Andrews is able to play, now you have a 2 tight end set, and you can run a lot of different things out of that 2 tight end set. That can bring another dimension to him throwing the football and also having a power running game that they already had. Just another dimension, and it's going to be interesting to see if Mark Andrews is going to be healthy enough to play. But they're going to need Mark Andrews, and they're going to need those type of answers if they're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
What do you think about the job that Todd Monken's done as an offensive coordinator, finally kind of opening up the offense and letting Lamar Jackson actually push the ball vertically down the field? I was one who said, as much as I love Lamar Jackson, I think he's one of the most amazing players to watch. I would prefer to have a Pat Mahomes. I would prefer to have a Josh Allen. Basically Matt Stafford, people who are completing passes down the field. I feel like he was not allowed to do that because all the dude does is come up with clutch throw after clutch throw, and he's also reading defenses so fast. I mean, with what he's doing to linebackers out there, I mean, he's just abusing them.
Well, I think he's brought another dimension that we can see the throwing aspect of Lamar Jackson because now he has weapons to throw the football to. If you don't have a lot of weapons to throw the football to, that puts a lot of pressure on Lamar Jackson as forced to run the football. We know he can run. Now he runs when he wants to or actually when he has to, but he has other options. He has that patience that's in the pocket now where he doesn't have to take off and run because now he's holding the football and he's allowing these wide receivers to be able to get open. But you talk about winning. It's all about winning percentage to me at the quarterback position. And the difference between Lamar Jackson, the critics, is regular season and postseason. Because in the regular season, he's 74% winning percentage.
Yep.
With quarterbacks, now listen, with quarterbacks with 200 career starts, there's only one quarterback that had a better winning percentage, and that's Tom Brady at 74.9, which is 75%. So we're talking about the playoffs. Now he's propelling his team to play in the championship game. All his naysayers and his critics, I think they're getting quiet. They're really quiet now because he's playing in that big game.
I'll tell you one thing. I've been shut up this year. I've been just singing his praises, and I have to say I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Greg Roman never really unleashed Lamar Jackson, and also they didn't bring in the wide receivers because they didn't have separation on the outside, so it's not like he could throw it to open windows. But, man, now that they got some weapons on the outside and you bring in Todd Monken, Lamar Jackson's looking like he's running the NFL like he ran college at Louisville.
And you know what? We'll get into the games, next week. But still, if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, you have to stop the running game first, led by Lamar Jackson. If you can stop that running game, then it bids well for the Kansas City Chiefs. If Lamar Jackson's able to run the football at will, and that running game behind him is running the football, now he has his 2 tight ends, and he can throw the football down the field, it puts a lot of pressure on that Kansas City Chiefs and Spagnuolo. Do you blitz him? Do you have a spy? What's the game plan going to be for Lamar Jackson next week? It's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, it will be. And again, like I said, he's been abusing linebackers because if they drop in coverage, he's been taking off and running. And if they blitz or try to spy him, he's been hitting his wide receivers so fast and holes behind him that the guys are catching it in stride and just taking off down the damn field. So Lamar Jackson's been absolutely nasty. But again, a great year for the Houston Texans. I mean, they had, 3 wins the year before, and then they were in the playoffs, and they made it all the way to the divisional round. So got to tip my cap to them. And Nico Collins, this is a wide receiver that's a beast. I don't know how he fell to the 3rd round. And, I know he played at Michigan, didn't get it in very many balls. But, he's, 6'5", 220, and runs like a deer and just has the strongest damn hands you've seen in a while. This guy, he's turned into an absolute beast.
He definitely is, and he's made the best out of his opportunities. And what I like what the Texans have done, they have a really good, solid offensive line. They have a solid running game. And you talked about those weapons, and we didn't even talk about Tank Dell. I think Tank Dell was going to be up there, maybe, not rookie of the year, but he had a chance to really be. Yeah, his quarterback, and he got hurt. So now you have those pieces. You got young pieces that are coming back. You got a solid offensive line that's coming back. Your defense is running around, and DeMeco Ryans is going to be able to get more defensive players. So Houston is going to be right there in that division to compete each and every year, especially when you look at the Titans. They're in a rebuilding process.
Man, I'm right there with you. This Texans team is going to be something to deal with. D'Amico Ryan's coming over from San Francisco is completely changing the culture, and it's amazing what if you make the right pick at quarterback, how it can change the fortunes of your franchise. Over in Motor City, the Detroit Lions got over on the Buccaneers. When I look at this Lions team, I think to myself, they can run the damn football. Their offensive line is one of the best in football, period. But there's nobody better at play action than Jared Goff. I just got to say, Dan Campbell, the job that he's done with Detroit and taking the Matt Stafford, all the draft collateral that they got, and putting a real damn good football team on the field, it's fun to see. But what do you think? Like, what is the difference maker in this Lions team and the fact that they've been winning in the regular season, but now that they're playing in the NFC Championship game?
I really think it's a collective of things. I think you talked about the physicality with the offensive line. They've got two running backs that can run. You talk about thunder and lightning. Jahmyr Gibbs, a lot of questions about why did they draft a running back that high in the first round? I think he's paying off dividends with them. He has the speed. He reminds me of Chris Johnson, how he can catch the football, the speed and explosiveness that he has when he gets outside. Then you have David Montgomery. And you talk about Jared Goff. Jared Goff has been really disrespected, been unappreciated when he was with the Rams. He led that team to a Super Bowl. They didn't win the Super Bowl, but he led them to a Super Bowl. So right now he's proven his naysayers wrong. He's throwing the football down the field. He has a lot of wide receivers, and their defense, I think, is really underrated. You talk about their secondary, they give up some plays, but their front seven gets after the quarterback, and they're opportunistic on defense. They're able to create those turnovers when they need it, and that was a big difference in this game. You talk offensively, but defensively, they forced Baker Mayfield into two big interceptions.
Did Baker Mayfield save his career?
I think he did. And I have been critical of Baker Mayfield. You know, number one overall pick, and I understand he had some issues as far as coaching in Cleveland. But now it seems like he's finally in an offense and playing with a team that he's comfortable. And he has his swagger back. He's looking like the Baker Mayfield that we saw in Oklahoma, running down the football field, getting excited, throwing the football all over the yard. But more importantly, he's been protecting the football. He didn't do it in this game, and that was the difference. But, you know, I have to tip my hat to Baker Mayfield because I have been critical of Baker Mayfield. Now he seems comfortable, and he's playing like the quarterback that a lot of people thought that he could be, being the number one overall pick.
And Mike Evans, let's just be real, that dude, he might, like every single game, it'll feel like he has like a very, he'll have a drop, and you're like, oh my God, how did he drop that ball? But then he'll make 5 or 6 catches that nobody else on the planet could ever make. He had almost 150 yards on Sunday. Like he was unstoppable.
Man, what Mike Evans has been able to do in his career, and I say quietly, because I think he's played 10 years. I think he's had 1,000 yards receiving in each and every year. No receiver has been able to do that, and he makes big plays after big plays after big plays. When you talk about it, he'll have a drop here and there, but he makes some of the most spectacular catches in traffic. And he's just a big play weapon for him. I love Mike Evans, what he's been able to do coming out of, you look at him coming out of Texas A&M, you didn't really think that he was going to be that receiver that he was because it was all about Johnny Manziel. He was the receiver on the other end of Johnny Manziel, and his career has been tremendous. I love to watch Mike Evans, what he brings to the table.
It's crazy that I actually had to pull up your numbers after you said that. He's had 9 consecutive years with 1,000 yards receiving. My man's had 94 touchdowns in those 9 seasons, and he's only lost 2 fumbles. That's
wow.
That's impressive right there.
That's Hall of Fame numbers. And when I say quietly, you don't think of it. When you look at some of the best receivers that have played in history, and even some of the best receivers that are playing now, he's going into his 10th year. This year will be his 10th year, and you talk about 9 consecutive 1,000 yards. You don't look at him at the top, and he's still putting up those big numbers going into his 10th year. That's just amazing.
All right, now when we talk about wide receivers, have you seen an organization like the Packers who just replenished all their wide receivers? They got rid of Devontae Adams. They got rid of their quarterback. They brought in a bunch of young bucks, and they're almost all interchangeable. I have to look at I got to see, like, from Dobbs to Reed to Watson to Wilson to Musgrave. Like, I'm like, dude, who are all these dudes? And they just keep coming in and making big plays. This Jordan Love, he looks legit. This young wide receiving core and Mr. LaFleur, like, is Green Bay going to be a handful the next couple seasons?
I think so. When you mentioned all those wide receivers, and I've played the wide receiver position for a long time, but it's all about the quarterback, the player that's under the center. You can have all those wide receivers that you name, but it takes a special guy to be under the center and for him to be to work with that young talent. And Jordan Love has done that. I mean, it is very difficult to be drafted in the first round, being behind a legend in Aaron Rodgers, and at first, he's not happy that they drafted you. So being able to learn from him and sit on the bench and not play, and then to have everyone question should they have taken a wide receiver? Why did they take another quarterback? And for him to step in his first year and have the tremendous season he's had, it gives Green Bay Packers an opportunity to compete in that division, especially when you look around. You look at Chicago. They don't know what they're going to do with Justin Fields. You look at Minnesota. Kirk Cousins is hurt, coming off an Achilles. What is Minnesota going to do? Detroit is in that division, of course. But Green Bay will be competing as well.
Man, that division's going to be good here in a couple of years because, again, like the Packers are back, and I'm telling you, the Lions ain't going anywhere right now with Dan Campbell. Love what they're doing. Got to bring up this 49ers football team, though, Brock Purdy. My man's numbers this year, you can't say anything about him. His winning percentage, you can't say anything about it. But it seems like if there's a little bad weather out there, that if it's a little moist, he's a little bit scary. There's supposed to be great weather this weekend, but how concerned are you going forward? Again, all the games that he struggled in, it's been wet outside. What can he do, if anything?
Well, I think when you look at any quarterback position and you talk about ball control and controlling the football, it's tough for receivers to catch the football in wet weather and also for quarterbacks to throw the football in wet weather. And I think Jordan Love has to deal with both of them. Jordan Love had two critical interceptions, and I think it could have been because of the wet field. I think when you look at Brock Purdy, I think when you look at his naysayers, I think the naysayers and his doubters, they want to have the narrative that he's the last pick in the draft. They always want to find something wrong with his game, the last pick in the draft. And I think when you look at it, I think throughout that football game, he didn't play well. He didn't play well at all. But when you needed him to come up big in that last drive, he drove him down 69 yards, 12 plays, and he was able to play spectacular. So am I concerned about his play? No, I'm not. But what I am concerned about is overall their continuity on offense without Deebo Samuels. They didn't have Deebo Samuels early in the year. They went 0-3, and they also didn't have Trent Williams in that aspect. So I'm wanting to see who's going to be able to step up if Deebo Samuels cannot play. That's what I'm concerned about. But Brock Purdy, I'm not concerned about him. I think he makes the plays when he needs to make the plays. And, yes, he missed some throws. I think I can attribute that to the weather. But he's been playing outstanding football, whether he's a first-round pick or he's the last pick in the draft. I like Brock Purdy.
With Deebo Samuels in the lineup, I saw this the other day. I thought this was a great stat. They've won 75% of the games that he started. Without him, they're 8-9. That's one game under 500. That's a crazy drop. He is so big. What do you think the chances are with this? The shoulder is not broken, but how healthy, if he can play, do you think he can be, and how effective?
Well, I don't think he's going to be the same player because if you look how they utilize, Deebo Samuels.
He uses those shoulders to run over people.
Yes. They even have him at the kickoff return because they love how he is when he has the ball in his hand. He's one of the most dynamic players with the football in his hand. But now he can't play the game that he plays, and that's being very physical, running the football out of the backfield. They throw a lot of wide receiver screens to him, so he's taking a lot of shots from inside, from linebackers and safeties. It's going to be really tough, and I think it may even be a decoy because even though if he's on the football field, as a defense, you don't know how effective he's going to be, so now your defense still has to account for him if he's on the football field. And I think that may be the biggest thing. He may be a decoy, but they were able to have other players that stepped up. George Kittle, man, had a huge game. Jawan Jennings came in and had 61 yards. They were able to spread the football and throw the football around to a lot of different receivers, and Christian McCaffrey is that guy. So if Deebo doesn't play, now you can focus more on Christian McCaffrey, who had 12 attempts thrown to him. So having him in the game, it just brings another dimension and something else for the defense to have to worry about.
Man, Cope, I could do another 2 hours talking football with you. My man knows ins and outs of football like nobody's business, plus the slants and the post. He knows it all. We're so blessed to have him. We also have him again. We are breaking down the AFC and NFC championship games Friday at 12 o'clock. Don't miss it. Cope, you be blessed, and thank you so much for your time.
Okay, man. Thank you, Johnny.
That is Russell Copeland. Man, my dude was spitting some knowledge. On the other side, I'm spitting silliness. We go into Hardwood on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
At Genesis Diamonds, it's not just a new year, it's a new opportunity to bring you more choices, more value, more ways to celebrate your love. So we've expanded our selection of exquisite hand-picked diamonds from a half carat to 15 carats. All shapes, all sizes, all at our famous no middleman prices. We've also got lab-grown diamonds of the highest quality at prices way below what you see at other jewelers. We've also brought in even more exclusive designer jewelry, new cutting-edge, fashion-forward rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, pendants, things you can't find anywhere else. And of course, Genesis is proud to offer a truly spectacular collection of luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces. We have all the most popular models in stock. Is this the year you reward yourself with a premier name and timepieces? Come to Genesis in 2024 and let our non-commissioned experts help you celebrate those important milestones. We guarantee the best value, the highest quality, and the strongest warranties and guarantees in the jewelry industry. Genesis Diamonds and luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper, and you can get it online? Go to Hims. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with two of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Fiveash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Hey y'all, it's the Mid-South Sports and Boat Show, January 26th through the 28th at the Agri Center. Come buy your new boat and make some memories at the lake this summer with family and friends. Premier dealers showcasing the newest ski boats, pontoons, fishing boats with huge show specials. Enter your chance to win daily door prizes. It's all at the Mid-South Sports and Boat Show, January 26th through the 28th. For more info, go to memphisboatshow.com. That's memphisboatshow.com.
At the Agri Center.
It's a new year, and Family Leisure has a new way to bring family and fun together. All you have to do is walk into Family Leisure and look around. All those floor model patio sets you see, those have got to go. So Family Leisure can make room for all the new sets coming. Get a wicker sofa set for under $2,000. Pool tables under $1,500. Theater seating for under $2,000. Hot tubs for $4,000 or just for yourself. If you really want to lounge, they're under $5,000. Need patio cushions? Get them as low as $25. Oh, have you seen those infrared steam saunas? Well, now they and the traditional saunas are 25% off. It may just be the first few weeks of 2024, but that doesn't mean you can't start getting ready for summer. Two final things. Purchase your above-ground pool now and get first in line for installation, and take advantage of special financing that's available. Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, bringing the family and the fun back together.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bones.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Jay Morgan. Nope, I'm kidding. I guess I had Jay on the brain because we talked about him going to wrestling. But my buddy Bryant Dacus is with me. In fact, Dacus is going to do me a huge favor today. From 3 to 6, he's going to ask, if Joe Mauer is in, then why isn't Thurman Munson? If Todd Helton is in, why isn't Donnie Baseball? So sorry that I forgot your name for a minute. And I was just talking to you on the other side. I apologize. Man, I'm telling you, this is my brain, bro. It's not my fault.
It happens, John. It happens.
It's my brain. It's not my fault. Speaking of things that, things that would not be your fault. It wouldn't be your fault if on the way home you made a smart decision and stopped by your local liquor store and grabbed a big bottle of Tito's. Because, by the way, it's the best vodka in the world, which happens to be crafted and distilled right here in the United States, baby. If life hands you lemons, don't freak out, don't fret, don't stress. Just make a lemon drop, but make sure it's with the best Tito's handmade vodka. Let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
All right. So, I told you earlier that we had a bill banning high school kids out in California.
Okay.
And we also had a Britney Spears banning. Which banning do you want to hear first?
Let's go with the high school banning.
Oh, okay. So
just because I know about the Britney Spears.
Oh, you
and
do?
I don't know about the California whatever.
Well, the California Assembly has come together and proposed a bill that all children 12 and under, it'd be illegal for them to play in tackle football. Now, again, I'm not sitting here saying I'm gonna just dude, that's just a dumb bill. Like, why are you worried about that? Like, shouldn't the parents be worried about that? I started playing football at 7 years old. It was great. I had a lot of fun. It was great. I mean, it's great. But they're saying no, you can't do that. And I saw this today, and I didn't even know anything about this, but I saw it was David Cohn from the Jake and Crane and Company show. He was talking about this, and he made me laugh. He said, so in California, a young man as young as 10 years old can cut off his penis, but he can't play tackle football. Tell me if there's not something wrong with that.
Interesting.
And I thought that was actually a great point. Like, that is a pretty good point. But again, like, football, like when you're 11 years old, 10 years old, like, why can't you put on a helmet and go out and play a little football, learn the game? I don't know, man. I just thought that was a weird bill.
Well, who was it? Peyton Manning that said, like, he wasn't going to let his kids play tackle football until they were, like, 13 or 14?
That is, again, Rob Gronkowski said that he didn't play tackle football until he was 13, but he was saying he started playing hockey at, like, 7 years old.
Oh, I didn't know Gronk was a puckster.
Yeah, he was a puckster. What I'm saying, but don't you hit and like, can't you hit the ice? And by the way,
but I don't think you're checking anybody that young.
But what the point is, what I'm saying is, when I was like 6 years old, 7 years old, and maybe kids don't do this anymore. It was more violent playing in your little field around the corner when we'd all go play football, and it wasn't supervised, and we didn't have any pads. We were busting each other up.
That's a good point. Very good point, John.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. If kids' parents want them to play a little football, if the kids want to play, let them play.
Right.
If they don't make it a law, like, where it's illegal, like, because you know what's going to happen? We're going to have some sweatshops out there in California where they have sneak football games.
I mean, you got a good point.
Like, dude, we're going to have underground football.
Right.
Don't put football underground. I love football. Now, speaking of that ban in California, oh, and by the way, there was also something funny I have to say. Jake Crane made me laugh, and I just had to bring this up because it just popped in my head. He said to David Cohn, he's like, so you can cut your penis off at 10 years old, but you can't play football. And you can also go take a Mr. Grumpy on the side of the road. And I was like, I've never heard it called a Mr. Grumpy. Huh. Have you ever heard that?
I have not. No, that's new to me.
But you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yes.
I think that's the greatest. That just is the funniest line I think I've heard all day. Shout out to Crane and Company. As you can tell, I was listening this morning. Now, Britney Spears. I got to bring this up, man. Britney. I'm not mad at you right now. I'm mad at the Four Seasons in L.A. Britney Spears, is she still a super, she's a top attraction, right? Or something? Like, if she was singing, people would go watch her.
Sure. I mean, she dropped a book, and it was like the best-selling book of the year.
And you know she can't even write, so it couldn't have been a very good book.
I mean, she didn't write it.
Yeah,
but
Ghost Rider wrote it for her, but yeah. Brittany, I like to be naked. Well, like her her whole TikTok show is basically her half naked dancing around, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, she got a room at the Four Seasons in LA. She went down to the pool, and I feel her on this one. She doesn't like tan lines. Who likes tan lines? Do you like tan lines?
No.
Me neither. So she took her top off. If I can go sit by the pool and show my nipples, so should she be allowed to do the same in LA again. Out in LA, the Four Seasons in LA.
Wow, that darn
banned her from showing her nipples. They won't let her come back to the hotel. They said, I'm sorry, Brittany. You're going to have to spend you're so stuck up that you don't want Brittany's nipples by your pool?
Interesting.
This is BS, man.
Huh.
And again, what happened to women's rights? Why can I go topless and y'all can't? I'm here to fight for women's rights. If you want to go topless, take it off.
Feel you, John.
Back in the day, they used to take all their shirts off. This was a long time ago when they were really fighting for women's rights and just walk down the street. Without breasts, we ain't alive. We need that.
Good point. Good point, John. John, I brought 5 stories to the table today. This list might grow as the week going on. We don't have enough time for me to get to all 5 of them. Certainly 1. Maybe we can sneak in 2. But I want to read my headlines for each of these stories, and I want you to pick which one you want today, just like you kind of did for me.
I'll do this, but you have to do me one favor.
What's that?
I need you to hashtag my show, Free Brittany's Breast.
Okay, we'll work on that tomorrow. Workshop it a little too long, but we'll workshop it. We'll spend tonight workshopping it. Okay, the 5 headlines I have today. First one, polar bear plunge. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Let me start over. Number 1, polar bear death plunge. Okay, that's the first headline. Second headline, a Kansas City Chiefs murder mystery. Ooh, that's the second one.
I know that one.
Number 3, Alaska Airlines planes are a mess. That's number 3. Number 4, a woman was shot and killed after pulling into the wrong driveway. And then number 5, a once-in-200-year cicada apocalypse.
Well, these are all good.
And now remember, I mean, we're going to get to all of these
We
this
got
week.
polar bears that are taking death plunges.
Well, you don't know that, John. That's just the headline.
Kansas City murder.
Uh-huh.
We have something about, did you say, what was the third one?
Alaska Airlines planes, they're a mess,
airplanes.
John.
Oh, man, dude, I like to travel on planes. I got to start with the airlines.
All right, let's start with the airlines. We're going to mark that off and say we've already talked about it because we're talking about it right now. John, do you remember a couple weeks ago when the Alaska Airlines plane, mid-air, the door just flew
Cabin
off.
decompressed.
Right.
Nobody got sucked out, luckily.
Right. Someone's shirt got sucked off them. Cell phones, right? They were finding cell phones on the side of the road.
I bet they didn't kick them out of the plane for showing their breast.
Probably not. I think it was a man, though. But John, when that happened, a phone was found next to a street, on the side of a street, still working. I don't know what kind of phone was it. It was an Android.
Bro, did it have an OtterBox on it?
I don't know. But whoever it was, whether it was an OtterBox that saved it or if it was just an Apple phone.
That's amazing.
Marketing. I mean, you got to go throw that on a commercial. You need to put this in the
Super Bowl commercial.
Absolutely. Okay, so I saw this earlier today. So since that happened, Alaska Airlines has been checking all of its planes to make sure that they're safe.
That's a good idea.
They cannot have something like that happen again. And today it came out that Alaska Airlines found loose bolts on, quote, many of its Boeing MAX 9 jets. So these planes are just flying around with loose bolts, could come off at any time. They said one of them, a wheel fell off.
I actually heard about this. The left wheel in the very front plane, it started rolling out and went behind the plane. And the air traffic controller, who's got stony vision, who actually saw it, had to yell, yo, don't take off, homie.
Yeah, so, I mean, how about that? So I saw someone said last night.
You think that's how he said it?
Probably not. It was probably a little more professional. But, someone pointed out last night that we all make fun of the people. Now, I haven't been on an airplane since I was 3 years old, so I can't make fun of anybody, but everyone makes fun of the people that when the flight lands, the lights come on, they start applauding. I mean, let's give it up for everybody for making it. John, maybe they weren't wrong. Maybe they had good reason for applauding now that we know a lot of these airplanes probably aren't fit to be flying a bunch of people.
Well, for someone who loves to fly, You're making me a little bit
Maybe don't
nervous.
take Alaska Airlines for the next couple.
I might not take Alaskan Airlines, or maybe I should, because now that they've got all this spotlight on them, like, like those
ultra safe, John.
Like they're probably
That's right.
all right, dude, we got to actually do our
they
jobs.
They can't let something else like this happen, so they've got to be super duper safe.
Man, we're gonna have to actually take a little time out. Like the Kansas City murder, by the way, that's the craziest story out there, and it's freaking me out. We're definitely going to address this tomorrow or Friday. But more information is still coming out. Like, where is the fifth friend?
Yeah, it's
weird. If you know anything
it's a crazy
about
story.
this, it is a crazy murder mystery. Like, I don't know, man. 3 dudes freeze to death at your crib.
But they didn't freeze to death, John. It only got to 32 degrees that night, so they couldn't have frozen to death.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think we need what's that dude, Dr. Bodden or something? Bodden, the autopsy specialist.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll take a quick time out. We got to come up with some bets. We got some hoops tonight, right?
That's right.
NBA, we haven't even talked about.
Yeah. We got a new coach.
We got a new coach. I mean, is Doc really the coach now in Milwaukee?
ESPN reported this morning.
Adrian Griffin out after 30-13 record. Doc in. Man, that's some impressive stuff. Reminds me of LeBron James getting rid of David Blatt. Back with Cleveland. What were they, 30-11 that year? Mm-hmm. By the way, they replaced him with Ty Lue, and they won a chip.
Sure did.
Milwaukee might win the chip now. We got some bets on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
What's wrong? You look bereft.
I am bereft.
What is it?
Well, there's only 3 Central Barbecue locations. The original Central Barbecue on Central, it's closed.
Oh, don't worry, little buckaroo. The location on Central will be back before you know it and better than ever. Now, there's still the location on Summer. You love that one, right?
Yeah.
And there's still the Central Barbecue downtown and the Central Barbecue on Poplar. You love those too, right?
I do love those.
So you could go to those, and then when Central Barbecue on Central reopens, it'll be like Christmas, but with pork.
I feel better already.
Chris Brockman here from the world-famous Rich Eisen Show, and the playoffs are now. The stakes are higher than they've ever been, and there's no better way to turn the playoff football's big game energy into 100 times your money than Prize Picks. Just select 2 or more players. Pick more or less their projection for a wide variety of stats and place your entry. Boom! It's that easy. You could turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Get in the lab and cook up your winning entry. Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks is matching your first deposit of up to $100 when you download the Prize Picks app and use the code PRIMETIME. That's code PRIMETIME on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Let's make this the new year to drive your new Kia home from Gossett Kia on the Pike. Bobby J's waiting to put you in a new Kia today. So come hit the road with 41 MPG Highway in 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Or get 7 passenger seating in a 2023 Kia Sorento LX. We Gossett at $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And if you want your new ride to be a 2024 Kia Telluride LX, we Gossett at $449 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease plus Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So get to Gossett Kia today, 1900 Covington Pike. Online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee. Forte RE722-812, MSRP 21,590. Sorrento PG 242-710, MSRP 33,010. Telluride RG 462822, MSRP 38,705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/31/2024 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Gas, groceries, utilities, you name it. The price of everything is going up. And if you're stuck in a bad timeshare with rising maintenance fees, the financial burden can be crushing. It is time to get your finances in order and get the real facts about that timeshare that you are stuck in and your options to get rid of it. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has been helping families out of horrible timeshares for over 10 years and has put together a complete timeshare exit information kit that he will send you absolutely free. To date, over 30,000 families have trusted Wesley Financial Group to help them out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares. Get the facts about how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation. Simply call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit and see how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. Once again, 800-462-3333.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-364-1031 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-364-1031. That's 800-364-1031. What do you have to lose? Call 800-364-1031. Again, 800-364-1031.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
The only power source capable of generating 1.21 gigawatts of electricity is a bolt of lightning.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Now, Monday was Make Money Monday. Tuesday was Take Back Tuesday. Wednesday, we hope to survive. And I was looking at the Heat and the Grizzlies, believe it or not. Is Terry Rozier going to play? The newly acquired? I don't know. He has to pass a physical today. They do have back-to-back games. I don't think he plays. Right now, you're catching 11 with the Grizzlies. Just a little sprinkle. And then this one, you're going to think I'm crazy. But it's a sign. You've been talking a lot of DePaul basketball.
Oh, no, John.
They are catching 17. I honestly, after looking at how bad this team was, I don't think I could take them with 37 points. I think you're lucky to get Marquette under 25. I think I would take Marquette with their suffocating defense that will dominate this disgustingly poor DePaul offense. I think this thing gets out of hand.
All right.
I think they're down by 20 at half.
Whew.
I think they lose. I think Marquette wins by 30.
Whoa.
The Golden Eagles win by, I'm going to say 33 points.
Wow, I like it.
Let's lay it. That's the one that I'm actually going to bully whip. Man, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful hump day. For Bryant Dacus, I'm John Harden. Y'all get out there, make this world a better place. We're going to see you on the flip side. Peace.
We all appreciate luxury. We love the